my
proving that the
badge.
planet moves on its own. Alice and Paulina feel scared as they back away from the table. And as Paulina refuses to believe what's happening, she points out ways that Doris could have manipulated the board.
Okay.
However, Alice is convinced that they can finally stop being frauds, adding that they now have a way to talk to Roger. Then, before she goes to bed,
Okay.
Paulina sees someone move in the living room through the planchette. At school, Father Tom speaks with Paulina and shows concern regarding Doris, who has been absent for 4 days without a single notice. So because of that, Paulina explains that Doris has started working alongside their mother. At home, aside from having the planchette move on its own, Doris is also able to channel the spirit's voice. However, after doing so, she immediately feels a stinging pain at the back of her neck. Then when the painkillers that Paulina gives her don't help, Doris tries to ask her father about the painful feeling, but gets no response. Determined, she goes in front of a mirror with the planchette to check what's going on and sees a black spirit holding the back of her neck. Unfortunately, as soon as Doris screams, the spirit starts possessing her through her mouth and leaves her unconscious on the floor. Meanwhile, that night,
Okay.
Paulina gets a nightmare about her mouth getting sewn shut. The next day at school, Doris's personality has visibly changed as she keeps glaring at nothing. Then she stares back at the boys when they try to hit her with a slingshot, and the spirit starts controlling the boy's hand and makes him hit himself. That night,
Okay.
Alice meets up with Father Tom to talk about the girls, and the priest says that being involved in the spirit world is dangerous.
Okay.
However, Alice is convinced that she's doing a good thing for those that are grieving, and even offers to help him reach his deceased wife. Meanwhile, Paulina invites Mikey over and warns Doris not to snitch on her. Paulina then tells Mikey that Alice will get mad if she catches them. So they share a kiss before Mikey says they're like Romeo and Juliet and leaves. However, as Mikey's about to depart, Doris stops him and offers to tell him something cool. She proceeds to give a detailed, gruesome explanation of how it feels like to be strangled to death. And after that, she bids him goodnight and calls him Romeo, before going back to watch television. Before heading to bed, Paulina sees Doris writing something without looking at the paper and immediately feels weirded out. However, she decides to ignore it and goes to her room, where she finds her doll's mouth sewn shut. Paulina is angry because the doll was a gift from their father, so she confronts Doris and blames her for it. However, Doris says it was their father who did it to stop the voices. Unfortunately, Paulina doesn't believe her and continues shouting until she alerts Alice, who quickly checks what's going on. Paulina thinks that her mother is stupid for ignoring what's happening to Doris and tries to convince her that something is wrong with her sister. But Alice only gets mad that Paulina is raising her voice at her. The next morning, Doris refuses to go to school and even throws a tantrum about how she'd rather stay home and talk to her friends. Then Alice asks him